We just mentioned Victoria and what's happening down there. I love what this guy did. This guy, the police in Victoria pulled him up, tried to get his name, and he replied by saying, well, I can't recall, because that is how Dan Andrews and all his acolytes responded in the inquiry. Oh, I can't recall, I can't recall. Watch this.
Okay. I want to avoid locking you up, which is why I would like to confirm your identity. If we cannot confirm your identity, you will be placed under arrest for continuing to commit an offence. Do you understand what I've been saying?
Well, I understand. I don't agree with it.
Okay, you may not agree with it, but I appreciate you clarifying that you understand it. Can you please tell me what your date of birth and your current residential address is?
Just one last time. So I can't recall is not an acceptable answer?
In this case, no, it's not, because
it's not.
I am asking you under the Crimes Act.
So under the oath, if I was under the oath, I could say...
You're not currently under an oath, Martin.
But under the oath, it's an acceptable answer.
All right,
okay.
I'm going to...
Okay, I'll give you my details.
I appreciate that. Can you please give me your date of birth?
So, guys, let's just discuss this, because there's a couple of critical things in there. He's absolutely right to point out, why can't he say this? I mean, this is the whole point that Dan Andrews has done, Rita, to your precious Victoria, is he's destroyed, he's broken that link between those being governed and those governing, where the governing party are ridiculous and hypocritical.
Well, they've called this inquiry. It's not a judicial inquiry, by the way. It's certainly not a royal commission. It has limited powers, but they are under oath. And we had the most remarkable situation where every single bureaucrat, senior minister, the Premier, none of them knew who made the decision to use private security firms. It has been treated like an absolute farce. And I guess that guy there, I don't particularly support carrying on like that, but he's just showing how farcical it is.
Well, absolutely. I do support him. I do support him. I'm sorry. He was absolutely within his rights to say, if it's good enough for the leadership, it's good enough for me. Yeah, I know. He probably did. But there you go. That shows how ludicrous it is. I want to play Dan Andrews, the brilliant Ms Baxendale, who's the hope of the side at these press conferences. Just have a listen to this question and answer.
Someone by themselves in regional Victoria going for a walk, you know, and there's no one else in the same square kilometre as them. It's a bit silly for them to have to wear a mask, though, isn't it?
But what's the issue, Rachel? Seriously, what's the issue? Why is it such a massive issue to have to wear?
It serves no health purpose if they're not in
that's
contact with another human being.
Well, that's an esoteric debate, really, isn't it?
James, a couple of really serious... Let me just say here, James, give us a... There's a couple of things in. Firstly, he's behaving like you've got teenage boys. He's behaving like the worst, most petulant teenage boy, sulking at being asked an important question. But more importantly, there is, and I'll put it up now, many questions about masks and their health risks of wearing masks. For example, there's been a report about impetigo in children. Who wear masks. So it's a deadly serious question that she asked, and this absolute cretin responds by brushing her off. James.
Beyond that, Rowan, Ms Baxendale is doing her job, and
Precisely.
The left wants her not to do her job. Her job is to ask, what are the health mandates? Why are you doing all of these rules when we know more and more of these rules were just come up with capriciously, nobody knows who, nobody knows why, and to go and find out why are our liberties being restricted, that is something that the left used to cheer. But now that it is Dan Andrews, you know, out there doing his own thing, the left has formed this sort of Talidan cult around him that will protect him at any cost. And Ms Baxendale has received some of the most vile, vicious, personal, sexual, professional abuse. All, you name it, she has copped it.
Including from feminists. Including from feminists.
Big surprise there.
They call her out. They have frozen her as a target on Twitter, and they say, Rachel, what is the issue? They turn that into a hashtag every time she asks a question. They are trying to monster her and shut her up.
Well, I'll tell you, look, we've got to go, but I'll just say, anyone who knows or sees Rachel, give her a big round of applause when you see her, because she is the hope of the side in Victoria.